Hello there. I hope you had an awesome day. And I wanted to jump on because I get many questions and many women asking me about weight loss. And I see a lot of women struggle with weight loss. They might be able to lose the weight, but it comes back on. And just feeling very frustrated and feeling like there's something about them and there's a reason that something's wrong with their metabolism or something like that as to why they're not able to lose weight. So I wanted to talk to you about the 3 most common reasons women struggle with their weight. So feel free to comment if you are listening, and whether you're watching the replay or you're watching this live, thank you for listening. I'm Dr. Glenna, and I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm the mother of 3 small kiddos, and I'm the creator of Optimal Health with Dr. Glenna, a clean eating program where we do meal plans, grocery lists, all set up for you, and we also talk about the most relevant and important health issues that women need to know, especially if they are over 35 years old. The most common issues that women are dealing with today. So first of all, we're going to talk about 3 of the most common reasons that I've seen in the last 16 years that I've been practicing naturopathic medicine, why women continue to struggle. Hi, Lorraine, and thank you for listening. With their weight issues. The first one being guilt. Number 1 reason I would say that women are struggling is they feel guilty no matter what they eat. Unless it's a fruit or a vegetable or a chicken breast, they're feeling guilty about what they're putting in their mouth, when they're putting it in the mouth, what they're eating with their friends, etc. And I see it that if they're not eating perfect, they're beating themselves up and they're causing a lot of negative self-talk, which is connected with stress and other things that's affecting their health, which we'll talk about another time. But they're feeling guilty instead of looking at it like a lifestyle. They're looking at it like, oh, I blew my diet, I'm off my diet, I didn't eat exactly the way I was going to eat, etc. And they beat themselves up basically, which is a huge reason why they're not able to eat healthy most of the time. So if they blew their diet, then they think, well, the rest of the day I might as well just blow it. And they're not even enjoying what they're eating because they're feeling so guilty about it. And food is meant for nutrition. It's meant for enjoyment also. So the next time that you eat something that's not clean, enjoy it. Look at the reason why you're eating it. Are you tired? Are you on a vacation? Are you out to dinner? Whatever it is, and enjoy it. And I guarantee if you get rid of the guilt, you will eat healthier the next day when you wake up. Absolutely. So guilt is definitely the number 1 reason why women do struggle with their weight. So don't beat yourself up. Look at health and clean eating. It's a journey. It's lifelong. It's not meant to be a start and an end. Sure, you might do cleanses, or you might take a month and say, I'm going to eat very healthy. I'm not going to eat after 7 o'clock. I'm not going to have dessert. Whatever your rules will be, that's great. But if you do get off track, don't beat yourself up. And I always like in an optimal health, anybody that's done optimal health with me knows the golden rule is 80-20. So 20% of the time what we eat does not affect us. It's what we're eating 80% of the time that will determine our health and our weight. So that's the number 1 reason. The second one I want to talk about is not planning ahead. Definitely the second most common. If we're not planning what we're going to eat that day, at least most of the time, or Monday to Friday, and we're not making a list that corresponds with the recipes that we have and what we want to eat, we're going to grab quick, easy, processed. We're going to grab higher sugar. We're going to grab less whole food. We're going to overeat. Of course, we're not planning to. And that's the one thing about the first reason, most common reason women struggle with their weight, is that guilt leads to overeating. Guilt leads to overeating, and it leads to nighttime eating, and it leads to eating less healthy food. And in terms of not planning, you're going to eat more, you're going to eat less nutrient-dense food. And if you eat less nutrient-dense food, if you're grabbing things last minute, frozen pizzas, frozen dinners, bagel with peanut butter on it, just like fillers basically that have less nutrients in them, you're going to be nutrient deficient and you're going to crave more food. So a bagel, say with butter and jam on it, you're not getting protein. You're getting a high glycemic food, so your sugars are going to go up and then they're going to go down, and then you're going to be hungry. And there's not much nutrients in a bagel, so you're not going to have any healthy fat in there. You're going to be missing things, so you're going to crave more unless you pack your meals with nutrient-dense foods. Then you're not going to crave, and you're not going to overeat. Much less likely to overeat if you plan ahead. And when we plan ahead, we buy certain things in our grocery list that match up with our plan. If you go to the grocery store and you have no plan of those recipes, you're just going to grab what you feel like in the moment. And that's when we're going to dump out vegetables, throw out greens, because it doesn't match up with any recipes. We haven't determined when we're going to eat it and what recipe we're going to follow. No, I hope you don't feel guilty about everything, but you know what? Women do tend to feel guilty about if they do this, if they don't do that, if they're not exercising that day, or they're not eating perfect, if they didn't do whatever they could for that other person. Women tend to feel guilty, and guilt doesn't help the person that you're worrying about. It doesn't help you. It certainly doesn't help your health and well-being. And it definitely doesn't help those around you if you're feeling guilty, because you're not showing up as your best. If you're in that state of guilt, there's nothing good that will come out of that. You're definitely not showing up as your best you when you are feeling guilty. So the third reason why women tend to struggle with their weight is there's an issue with their health that's been undiagnosed or not addressed. Maybe it's sleep, poor quality sleep, which means they're fatigued during the day and they're not making the right hormones during the day that satisfy their appetite. So that leads to more cravings, and it leads to fatigue. So they're reaching for sugar and caffeine and kind of quick energy foods. If they have a thyroid, subclinical thyroid issue going on that hasn't been picked up yet, their metabolism is going to be slower, they're going to be more tired, their digestive system is going to work much slower, they're going to have more bloating, etc. If they have an adrenal fatigue issue, right there, they're going to be burnt out, stressed, not able to cope, not able to plan as well. Low B12, for example, low energy, might have mild depression because of low B12, for example. So there's many health issues, especially B12, low vitamin D, thyroid, adrenal fatigue, that could be an obstacle to making the changes in your lifestyle, like planning and getting grocery lists, cooking, getting that motivation to want to do it. That if you don't have that motivation, chances are it's connected with a health issue, an underlying health issue that you have that has not been addressed, and perhaps it doesn't fall under the radar in conventional medicine. You might be in the range, but you might be in the bottom of a range for thyroid. B12, you might be in the range that was established back in 1920 in Canada, but you might not be in an optimal part of the range. Adrenal fatigue isn't really addressed in conventional medicine, but it is recognized in natural medicine, integrative medicine, functional medicine, biological medicine. And so you might be suffering with those symptoms, and with that illness, but you might be treated for the symptoms rather than the root underlying cause. So those are the three most common reasons why women definitely struggle with the weight. First is guilt. So we got to look at ways to get rid of the guilt. And comment here if you'd like me to do a video sometime about getting rid of the guilt, whether we're not doing enough for somebody, or our house isn't as clean as it should be, or we're not eating perfect, or we're not dressing perfect, whatever it is. Just give me a comment, and I will do a video sometime on addressing guilt and how to replace the negative behaviors and emotions with more positive behaviors and emotions. The next one, second most common reason women struggle with their weight, is definitely not planning ahead and just kind of going by the seat of their pants and going with what they feel like in the moment. And chances are you're waiting for the moment when you're hungry and your blood sugar's low or whatever, and you're not going to be able to plan and make that good choice in that moment. The third one is having undiagnosed or issues that are not addressed properly, whether it's insomnia or low B12, low D, adrenal fatigue, or subclinical hypothyroidism, mild depression, etc., or hormonal imbalances that can be causing major cravings during times of the month. That's also a reason. If you're estrogen dominant and it's not getting addressed and you're not dealing with that issue, you can definitely have more cravings, etc. So I hope that helps. And the number one message three messages I want you to take from this video is get rid of the guilt. It doesn't do you any good. If you are eating off track or not clean, enjoy it and move on. Guaranteed, if you enjoy the food while you're eating it, the next day you will eat healthy and you won't continue that vicious cycle. Plan your meals, plan your grocery lists, get some recipes out. Even if you only have 5 or 10 of your favorite recipes, use them and get a corresponding grocery list, and you're much more likely to follow a plan and eat healthy. And make a couple things on the weekends that will do you for the week. Soups, chilies, things like that. Healthy cookies, healthy muffins. Guaranteed if you have them in the freezer and they're easy and they're quick to go, you'll eat healthier, you'll feel better, which then will get you eating healthier too. And the last one is, if you have fatigue, mild depression, anything like that, make sure you're getting someone to look at that and look at the root underlying cause or why you're not sleeping well, and get sleeping well. Because it's really hard to take on a new meal plan or exercise, eat healthy, just to be able to kind of get organized with grocery shopping if you're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, tired, etc. So get those addressed and don't leave them, because you can feel better. So that's it. Those are my 3 tops, my tips, and we do address a lot of that in my Optimal Health. We talk about the 80-20 rule. We talk about getting rid of guilt. We talk about, well, I do the meal planning and the grocery list for you. You just got to cook the food. And we talk about what to look for. We do checklists for thyroid, hypothyroidism, checklists for adrenal fatigue, all of those things. And in my new membership site that started in March, I've got tips, PDFs that will give you tips on how to sleep well, what you can do to make sure that you're doing what you can do to get the best sleep you can get. So I hope those tips help you. And I will put the link below if you're looking to join a healthy plan. This is the time. Don't wait till July and August, which I won't be launching the program then anyway, but don't wait then. In July, you're going to wish, oh, why didn't I do this 3 months ago? Why didn't I get leaner? Why didn't I take better care of myself so I feel amazing once the summertime comes? So you will look back and wish you did it. So put the program, if you have done the program before, if you've done it for 3 months, you qualify for the monthly membership, discounted price. And if you've done just 1 month, then you can just do month 2, no problem. You can pay for just 1 month at a time. I have it designed now as a 13-week program, so which is super fun. And that's it. So take care, and thank you for listening, and enjoy your supper, no matter what it is.